What's up, everybody? My name is John Franco, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Last time, we discovered that Von Karma was the mastermind behind all of this. And he stunned us with a freaking taser, and he stole all of our evidence. But Maya, thankfully, got one clue. So, here we go. This is it. Judgment Day. Today, things are going to get settled at last. A lot of things. What's the big idea? Sorry, Nick. I only touched your shoulder. I guess the shock hasn't worn off from my run-in with the stun gun yesterday. Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick. Yeah, thanks, Maya. Edward is slowing glum as always. Hope Von Karma doesn't push him too hard. Whoa! What are you doing? Sorry, I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back. Maya, maybe you should go outside and discharge. Right, good idea. Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out. Whoa, yeah, pal! What's going into that girl? Detective got you. Morning, Mr. Edgeworth. Good morning. How did it go? Detective? Have no fear. As promised, I've captured our runaway caretaker. I just brought him in. Took all night, pal. Thanks, Detective Gumshoe. You must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I feel pretty good. Maybe he says he's forgotten his own name. But that has to be a lie. Why would he want revenge on Edward if he couldn't remember his past? He does remember, and I'm going to prove it. Pop. Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready. Right, very well. We have reached the final day of our proceedings in this trial. I let the prosecution submit decisive evidence. Understood. Come on, don't be awed into silence by every little thing he said. Very well, Mr. Von Karma. Your opening statement. Right. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker has yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Very well. Please bring the witness into the courtroom. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you all remember our witness. He lived in the boat rental shop on the lake from where he witnessed the incident. In addition, he has currently lost memory of his name and identity. Witness, why did you run away yesterday? The witness was not running away, as he will now testify. I see. Very well, please begin your testimony. Why I left court? I'm really sorry about just leaving yesterday like I did. But I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy some food for Polly's. I figured I had nothing to do with this instance anyhow. I need one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one. So my testimony yesterday stands as is. Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, shall we? He has to know his name. Yanni Yogi. You're Yanni Yogi, and I'm going to prove it. Food. Well, Police a bit of a gourmand, you see. She only eats these high-quality bird pellets from France. They only have them in the big pet shop downtown. But you weren't arrested until this morning. Why didn't you go back to the caretaker's shack? Well, I kind of got lost, you see? The witness has trouble remembering things sometimes. When the police apprehended him, he was on his way back to the shack. Yeah, right. Nice try, Von Karma. No one's going to believe that. I see. So he was lost. Please, Your Honor, come on. Come to your senses. You've lost much of your memory, is that correct? Yep, seems like it. Then how could you know that you didn't have anything to do with this incident? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory. You know exactly who you are. The witness has testified quite clearly that he has no memory of who he is. If you claim he's lying, then show the court proof. How am I supposed to prove what's going on with that old culture's head? It's impossible. I'm glad you've come to your senses, Mr. Wright. Very well, witness. Please continue. How can you say you had no motives? I say you do. You had a grudge against Edward and the victim, Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right? Please don't make me repeat myself, Mr. Wright. This witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge. It's impossible. I have to prove he's lying about his memory. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing over and over until the trial ends. Might I say something, Mr. Wright? Yes. Yes, Your Honor? You've been saying the same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness' memory of the past or lack thereof into question. But does this really have to do anything with the current case? Of course, Your Honor. The witness has said he has nothing to do with this case and no motives. One of these statements are lies. Order, order! Mr. Wright, there is a serious problem with your claim. Or are you saying you know who this witness is? Of course, Your Honor. Ho ho! Now this is interesting. I would like to know myself, so who is he? Don't play dumb, Von Karma. Mr. Wright, please tell us this witness' name. His name is Yanni Yogi, a former court bailiff. Yogi? That name seems familiar. Oh! Yanni Yogi, from the DL-6 incident. Figures the judge will have heard of it. It was such a famous case. But what does this mean? Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, then he has a clear motive. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Jumping into conclusions again, Mr. Wright. This witness is Yanni Yogi. Fascinating. However, how do you propose to prove this to the court? This is a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. And allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory. This is it. I have to do this now. If I can prove he's Yogi right here, right now, then I've got nowhere else to go. Nick, how are you going to prove it? How can you prove that he's Yanni Yogi? It's okay. It's actually quite simple. Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. Then we compare them to the fingerprints on file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago. I see. That makes sense. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Huh? I'm so very sorry, Mr. Wright. Why? The witness has no fingerprints. What? What? No fingerprints? You see, before I worked as a taker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burned my fingers working with the stuff. Yep. What? Yogi, you sneak. You burn your fingerprints to hide your past? Well, if the witness has no fingerprints, I guess we'll we will not be able to prove his identity. Tisk. Well, what will you do, Mr. Wright? It seems the case has been decided, no? No! I know what happened. I know everything. I just can't prove it. But no, I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way. There is no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one. Nick, what are we going to do? Didn't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. We do. It's. Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine this parrot for a little comic relief, Yeah, very funny. You're a sword winner, Von Karma. Wait a second. Cross-examine his parrot. What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to... Your Honor? The defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal. Take Mr. Von Karma up? On my proposal? Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrot. Order! What do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Need you even to ask? This is a farce. I object. Wait a second. You were the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Von Karma. I have the right to do as you suggested. Well, if you're so desperate, then please be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this, and nothing comes out with it, then I hope you're ready for the consequences. Nick, this is crazy. Well, so you want to go through with your little game? Fuck yeah. Let the parrot take the stand. I will cross-examine her, Your Honor. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Karma's rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence, except the parrot. She's my last chance. At least, I think so. Bailiff, bring in the parrot. If that kid wasn't crazy enough, that's quite a bird. Please tell us your name. Name. The witness is ignoring me. It must hurt to be ignored by a bird. Very well, witness. Who is your owner? Please testify for us. Hello. Squawk! Certainly the most concise testimony I've had so far. Very well, begin your cross-examination. Right. What are you going to do, Nick? I don't know. What do we even do, Maya? Well, I guess we should try to get some information out of her. We need to show the judge that her owner is Miss Yogi. Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. I want you to testify. Maya, you talk to her. Right, what do I say? As I recall, 2 days ago. Polly, have we forgotten something? Squawk! Don't forget DL-6! Squawk! I can get Polly to say that there. That would prove that the caretaker had something to do with DL-6. Polly, have we forgotten something? Hello. That's not what you're supposed to say. Forgot something? We forgot? Hello. Uh-oh, it's not working, Nick. She won't say it. This is ridiculous. Why won't she say it? Tisk. Something the matter, Mr. Wright? Wait. Don't tell me Von Karma expected this. He couldn't have retrained the parrot, could he? Did he train her not to respond when we ask if we'd forgotten anything? Witness, you're here to speak. You must speak to me. Frankly, I can't believe that you're speaking to a parrot. Well, Guess we should try to get some information out of her. Okay. What's your name? Polly, what's your name? Polly! Mr. Wright, I think we established that this parrot is named Polly. Does it have to do anything with the owner's identity? Of course. Yes, it does. Fascinating. You claim that the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity? Then show us this proof. Nick, don't you think you're taking the bluffing a little too far? Listen, we're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yanni Yogi. All we have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. Your Honor, the proof that the parrot's name reveals the caretaker's identity is... Oh, I didn't even read that. Elevator, district courthouse, air in the elevator was oxygen depleted at the time of the incident, no clues were found in the scene. Gregory Edgeworth, defense attorney, trapped in the elevator, returning from a lost trial with son, Miles Edgeworth, age 9, one bullet found in the heart, the murder weapon was fired twice. Okay. And Yanni Yogi, court bailiff, trapped in the elevator with the Edgeworths. Memory loss due to the oxygen deprivation. After his arrest, fiancée Polly Jenkins committed suicide. The DL-6 case file. That's quite a large file you have there. Which page is this proof on then? Show us. Oh, stop wasting our time. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please show us the page. Where in this file is the information connected to the parrot's name? And suspect. Yeah, suspect data. It's on the suspect data page. This page has all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide. See? Indeed, it does say that, yes. What was his fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. Polly! Exactly, Your Honor. He wanted to remember the name of his fiancée who had committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. I see. I guess that is possible. Objection. Bah, a mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix. Well, Mr. Phoenix Wright, does this make you my granddaughter's fiancé? She's only 7 years old. Indeed. Alone is a little weak for evidence in our murder trial. We would need some other corroborative evidence. Where am I going to find that? Nick, we're getting closer. One more, if we can just get one more piece of evidence. Right, but what? Very well, witness. You may continue. Okay. What's the safe number? Maybe I'll get her to say the number of that safe? Huh, the safe, why? Let's just try to get her to say anything, okay? Polly, what was the number of the safe in the shack? 1228, 1228. My, what a reckless parrot. Well, Mr. Wright, you're already claiming that this number has something to do with the caretaker. Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it. Ridiculous. How can the number of a safe tell us who the caretaker is? Show us your proof. What could possibly link this number to the caretaker's true identity? The DL-6 incident. The date. 1228. 1228. the DL-6 case file. What is this obsession you have with that case, Mr. Wright? Where in this file is something related to the safe number? The case summary. It's on the case summary page. The case summary. Specifically, the date on which the DL-6 incident occurred. The date of the incident, December 28th. Why, that's today's date, 15 years ago. And the number of that safe is 1228. Ah! He used the date of the DL-6 incident as a number for his safe, Your Honor. That shows how important that date was to him. I see. So it certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their numbers to date. Objection. Bah, this is not tangible proof. I said my ATM card number to 001 because I'm not. You should reveal that. This has nothing to do with a date. Nothing. That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion here. This is a mere coincidence, that's all. True, that is a possibility. However, two coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me. What are you saying? Summon the caretaker of the boat shop. Immediately. Witness, tell us your name. Wait, this one is... He doesn't remember... No, it's okay. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done. Nick, he looks totally different. This is the real Yogi, I think. Finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years. Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Order! Order! Yanni Yogi. So, was it you who killed Robert Hammond and tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond, he said I was mentally unsound. He told me it will make me innocent, get me off the hook. So, I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. He won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancé, my social standing. Then, this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought it was my chance. After 15 years, this was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. No regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean? I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth to yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond. Von Karma, where is Mr. Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession. Then, the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, is innocent, in this case at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Till you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case, I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections? I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything? Very well. This court finds the defendant Miles Edgeworth not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. Objection! Did someone just say objection? It wasn't Von Karma. Wait, but that means... No. Edgeworth, Your Honor, I object to your judgment. What do you mean? I'm not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yan Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what? Nick, Edward is trying to confess. He's going to say he's guilty. He's going to tell him that he was the murderer in the DL-6 incident. He's going to tell them he killed his own dad. Uh-oh, what do I do? The judgment has already been passed. I object to Edward's outburst. Didn't something like this happen yesterday too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after a guilty verdict has passed. That would be Larry. We must hear this news thing. We must hear Miles Edgeworth. He's right. We have the duty to hear Mr. Edgeworth out. Oh well, crap. For 15 years, I've had a recurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare. That's what I told myself. But now, I know it wasn't a dream. Yan Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean, in the incident where your father died? From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. The murderer, the criminal in the DL-6 incident, it was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for DL-6, the statute of limitation of which ends today. The culprit is me. Order, order. This is certainly unexpected. The defendant declared innocent is confessed to a different crime, a crime for which the statute of limitations runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this. Bah. It's obvious. We hold a trial right here, right now. We tried this man for his crime 15 years ago. I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will reconsider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned. Yikes. I'm sorry, right? Just wasted all your efforts. Mr. Edgeworth. I just don't believe it, sir. I mean, you killed your dad? I didn't want to believe it myself, detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy. Just crazy. Nick? What are you doing? Huh? Oh. I was just reading through the court records once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case? For what? Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it. He confessed that he did it. In court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare. What? It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right. Here we go. Now then, I would like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitation of the DL-6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense has any objection? No, Your Honor. Come on, Karma. You knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth. 15 years ago, you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That would be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please, please. The DL-6 incident. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this very day. But it's all. And until now, you thought this memory was a dream. We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out and I lost my memory of the events. Bah! The same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Why did you do that? I was a 9-year-old boy by the time. What could I do? I was scared, trembling in the corner, but then... Did you know it was a pistol when you threw it? I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous, but the air was getting so thick, I panicked. So you're saying that you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi? I was, in daze. The gun fired once. Yes. I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. That gunshot and that horrible scream. Scream. To this day. Yes, I can practically hear it now. I don't think I will ever forget that scream as long as I live. There it is. One part of that testimony clearly contradicts the evidence. But I don't know what it means. Better find it real quick. A single gunshot, and if we remember correctly, it says that the murder weapon was fired twice. There we go. Are you sure you only heard one gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. No, Your Honor, unfortunately you don't. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony. Do you enjoy dragging out that file, You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence unless you can tell us what page it's on. Which page contradicts Mr. Edgeworth's testimony? Victim data, I think. Yeah, victims data. Data, I don't care. Look at that victim data in this file. It says it quite plainly. The murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot. Yet, the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was accidental firing when the pistol was strong. So, who fired the remaining shot? Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? Your Honor, I am sure you're aware. This incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we don't know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There is no proof that the second shot had done anything to do with the incident. What? I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we have heard. One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot fired was had something to do with the case? Yes, Your Honor. I think I will be able to show you proof. What? Impossible. Now, Mr. Von Karma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show us your proof. Do you have evidence that the second firing of the pistol is related to this incident? Oh, look. There's I'm such an idiot. I'm pointing out on my screen as if I had my webcam. Yeah, this is it. Look at this. Look at this photograph. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime, 15 years ago. I can see that the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth. This proved the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it. So, let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired? Where? Your Honor, please get a clue. It's right over here.
Take that!
As should be obvious, the contradiction is here. I see a bullet hole in the door. Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol. Yet there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Mr. Wright, but who could that someone else be? The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL-6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. The case summary, that's on page 1. Look what it's written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter. The whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made that bullet hole in the door. Order. I will have order. Mr. Wright has proved one thing to us quite clearly. That the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked this second bullet. So all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid we have to discount the defense claim. Tisk tisk tisk. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter. Gah, how did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? I've been wrong about this whole incident. What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick? If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No. But you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edward declared innocent. I'm sorry. It's just, when I saw the photograph, I felt that 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else, who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick. Well, it seems that we have finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So you killed your father, though that it was not your intention. Yes, I did. Oh no. Let's accept the guilt. Very well. Statute of limitation on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today right here. Right now. Indeed. Does anyone else have objections? I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There are so many things I know I should be saying, but my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words. Mr. Wright? Your Honor, I object. Tisk. Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object? Oof. Nick? I don't know. This case is perfect. Oh no. Bruh. It must exist. The second bullet. What? Did you just say? Nothing. Second bullet must exist. But where? Someone took it. It seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet. It existed. What? But we just heard proof that it did not exist. I realize that, Your Honor. I'm regressing here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened. But who? The murderer. The murderer. Then tell us, just who is this murderer? I'm still thinking about that one. But the criminal took the second bullet, but why? First of all, how would they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet? Of course there was a need. That's why he took it. Bah! What possible reason could they have had? Well, the reason the murderer took the bullet away from the scene with them is... maybe they thought that the bullet would be used as proof? Proof? It was a special bullet, so they took it with them. If that was the case, then they should have taken the bullet from inside Gregory as well. Huh? Why would they only take one of the 2 bullets fired? Oh, right. Mr. Wright, have you really thought this through? I'm going to have to penalize you. Uh-oh. Ah, this isn't going to go so well. The murderer didn't need it. Why would the murderer have spent the time to look for a stray bullet? I haven't got a clue. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Bah, the murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. Had to take it. Had to take it. That murder, what does it mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene. But the murderer had to take the bullet. Had to. Mr. Wright, what do you mean? Well, for instance... Since what? Maybe the bullet hit the murderer. The bullet hit the murderer? Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have taken it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. I was just thinking off the top of my head that... What if that's what really happened? I was just talking out of my ass and... Let me get this straight. So at the time of the murder, the murderer themselves was shot, and they are left with the second bullet still inside of them, thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime. Yes, I guess that's how it would work, yes? But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from that elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanyogi, were both unharmed. So that would mean the murderer came from outside, yes? The two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murder. No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick. Huh? I just thought of something really crazy. Crazy. Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday? Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. Wow! He must have been quite a shock for one part. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean, it would only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL-6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma. Oh man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed. No, Your Honor. Well, you have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect? Uh-oh. Try to come out and say it now. Let's save it for a better time. I don't have enough proof yet. This is my trump card. I better save it for the right time. Mr. Wright? Something the matter? I'm fine, Your Honor. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Shall we carry on with this trial then? That's it. We have no farther to go. All that is left is the finish. In other words, the verdict. What? No, not yet. Think, Mr. Wright. You have said what someone from the outside was the murderer. Yet you cannot suggest anyone as a possible suspect. Which means your conjecture is worthless. And will be rejected, of course. Nick. Trial's almost over. Alright, I may not know what I'm doing, but here goes. Your Honor, There's a suspect. One lone suspect. Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect? But my hands are shaking. Von Karma. Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma? The prosecutor? The one standing right over there? Bah. You don't object? I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection? Because you took a vacation for several months, starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason? So you're claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident. Fascinating. Prove it. Why would I need I would have needed surgery, no? Where did I go under the knife at Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor at the that operated on me. Have him testify. Nick, let's find out who this doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth. I know Von Karma, perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane. No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull bullets out of yourself. Wait. What's that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere. But where? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence to prove that I was shot? Bitch, I can! Alright, Von Karma, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much. What? The evidence that proves that Von Karma was shot. Bitch! Thank you, Mr. Gumshoe. Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery leaving an evidence trail. So then, I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it's unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself. You don't mean... I do. There is the possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma. Is that even possible for all these years? Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm going to run this over you and see what we can find. I refuse. You refuse. But refusing this means you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you. Order, order, order. Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector. Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy. The statute of limitation runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. Enough. I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing. Nick, what does it mean? I don't know, but you have to give it a shot. Here we go, bitches! It reacted. Something's inside his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma? You. It was you! I was afraid that this would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. What? I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL-6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to the DL-6 incident. But Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that? Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. It is Mr. Wright who must prove something here. Not I. Mr. Wright? Well, can you prove it? Can you prove that the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL-6? Of course he can't. You don't have any of the DL-6 evidence. It's because you took it out of the records room yesterday. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright. No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma. What? You were close. One day away from freedom. But you see, I have proof. What? Who would have thought you would dig your own grave trying to convict Mr. Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL-6 incident. And there's my final proof. That's a bullet. Where did you get that? This is the bullet used in the DL-6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely, with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings? You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapons fired that bullet. It's quite accurate. We have 2 bullets in our possession. One bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We could analyze both bullets. Then, if the markings matched, we could know that both bullets have been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol, in other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet. And solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? That scream. I heard that scream before. Wait, I know. Help! I can't breathe! Quiet. I said quiet. You're not making this any easier. Stop breathing my air! I'll stop you! Stop breathing my air! Get away! Get away from my father! It's that scream I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed. Mr. Von Karma. Edgeworth, only you would dare defy me. No, it was you. You and your father are my curse. Your father shamed me with my penalty on my record. And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you. I'll bury you with my bare hands. Death! Death! Oh boy. Oh, that was not good. 15 years earlier. Chief Prosecutor, I am sorry. Von Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Mr. Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time. Edgeworth! It was a shock like none I had ever known. Me? Penalized? It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly, I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out into the hall and fell my way into the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then, there was a noise. I was in pain, a horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then, the light came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all laying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died never knowing who had shot him. Later, he spoke through a medium blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge? What? What are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now, end it. Very well. It appears that we have come to a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later. Mr. Miles Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. You were innocent. You are innocent. As you say, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. Woo! That is all. This court is adjourned. Nick, we did it! Did you see his face? Von Karma looked even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside, you crushed him, Nick. Crushed. I gotta say, I'm impressed. Heh, it was pretty close though. I was sure we had it. I know I was on the verge of tears the whole time. But now, it's all just a good memory. So, it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right? Yeah? I'm not sure how to say this. I know. Right? Thank you. I see. Thank you, right. You're welcome. I think you have done better. You could have done better than that. Sorry. I'm not good at this sort of thing. You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. She's got you in there. Woo! Amazing, pal. You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal. And tonight, let's party. Dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month. But who cares? See, Mr. Edgeworth, you should take a lesson from Detective Gochu. That's how you say thank you. I see. Ooh. I feel foolish. Don't worry. Take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey, y'all. Laura! Y'all were great in there. Thank you. Yo, Edgeworth, congrats. Thank y'all very much. I knew you were innocent from the very start, of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your head in the cookie jar even if no one was there. You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you? Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, eh? Speaking of which, what are you going to do now, Lotta? Who, me? I went back to college. I gave up trying to be investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? That's too bad. Huh? Is that the hot dog guy from the park? Huh? It's over, Nick. My life is over. Why the side fist, Larry? What happened now? Oh, Nick, I'm not long for this world. Huh? You don't look sick? It's Kianse. She's going to live in Paris. Paris, Nick. She's leaving me behind. Should have seen that one coming. Yo, Edgy, there you are. Yes, here I am. Congrats, Edgy. Here, a little gift from me in celebration. Celebration? That's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you've come along tonight too? My treat, pal. Huh? Oh, thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick. That's a suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not police talk for prison food, right? Right? I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right? Yeah? What's up? That envelope that Larry gave me, it's got money in it. Well, yeah, that's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? Huh? What a weird amount. I mean, it's not a little, but it's not at all either. 38 exactly. Nick? Was that exactly the amount of lunch money that was stolen from Mr. Edgeworth in school? $38? No. No! Larry, it was you? What are you so surprised about, right? Huh? Larry was absent that day from school, right? But that doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect. What? Think back to that day 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came into school anyway. Then he saw the money lying there, and the rest is history. I never was good at history. Hehe. Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Yeah, too well. Right? You may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. I know. Really, right? I'm surprised you didn't figure it out. Well, it sure is an unexpected turn of events, eh? Edgeworth. You should have told me. Now, Nick, it was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of elimination has run out, Mr. Edgeworth? I'd say so, yes. There, you have it. Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did. Well, you have always been something of an insufferable emotionalist. Yeah, and you get it worked out too easily too. Death! The death sentence to vote for both of you. Man, if only I had known I'd have become a prosecutor. The same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought that I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I had known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Edgeworth. Want to switch, right? Hey y'all, line up! I'll take a photo. Hey, photo time! Let's go! And after that, dinner's on me. Detective Gumshoe took us out of town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention. Whoa, I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. Huh? It's still only 5. Maybe I should go back to sleep. What's this? A letter. Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium, in training of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth too. I wanted to help you, but I couldn't. I was useless. So I've decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium for starters. I couldn't say it to you to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Goodbye? What time is it? Yeah, the first trains for the mountains have already left. To the station! I guess I'm too late. Hey! Nick? Maya! So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay? Wait! What? I never could have saved Edward without your help. Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister's? Yeah, only her voice, but still. It was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped, and Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick. But you were the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya. Huh? I didn't do anything! All I did was wander around in a daze. Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped. Evidence? A bullet? Von Karma was convinced he had taken all of the evidence pertaining to DL-6. But you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. This was a bullet that put an end to Von Karma. And you were the one who gave it to me. Nick. Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay, I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. I don't know about that. So, this is it. See you soon, Maya. No. Thanks, Nick. And so, my story ends. Time to turn a new page. And say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now, a new story begins. With the same old crazy cast of characters. Ha! Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur. Mr. Wright, perhaps you would like to rethink that claim. Yes, Your Honor. Uh-oh, I got a bad feeling about this. Woo! There we go! Phoenix Wright is attorney. Hey pal, Mr. Edwards came down to the precinct to wish me a happy new year. Talk about a pleasant surprise. Whoop! Detective Gumshoe. Then he hung up his head low and went right back outside. Kind of like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh? Graphics by Kumiko Suekane. Huh, Nick? Nah, haven't seen him lately. Who, me? I've been working at the cheese shop. That miss is a nice lady, but she's not exactly what you'd call a cheese... what? Oh yeah, he's stuck, okay. Oh, Larry. This game is so fun. I love it. I love it so much. Oh, right? Yeah, I remember him. I hear he's been busy lately. You know, not to ring my own bell, but I sort of told him, you know. I'm sure he's grateful. You always saw with you in the first case. Phoenix Wright. Ah, the defense attorney from whom I wrote that affidavit for. Oh, you should have known I'm taking over manager of the Gatewater Hotel recently. Should you be in the area, please stop by. Oh, it's you. Phoenix Wright? Oh yes, Mia's understudy, was he not? I wonder how he's doing. Haven't seen him out of late. Ah, the days of my youth. Like the scent of fresh lemon, you see. Phoenix Wright? He's an actor? Well, I'm not buying it. You can't be a star with the name like Phoenix. You're not a... Okay, I'm not doing this. Weepy! I'm pleased to announce the Pink Princess... Oh, I sure that Mr. Wright is a great deal. Oh, and I'm keeping my face out of the public eye till the show's over. I wouldn't want to really have any kid stream, you know? It's kind of funny, like, I gave him like a wimpy voice. But he's a cool dude. Oh, I got a letter from Maya the other day. It sounds like she caught a cold standing under a waterfall. I wanted to visit, but I didn't have time, so I sent her some Pink Princess trading cards. She says she can't buy them where she is. What kind of place she is living anyway? Right? Who's that? You wanna talk? Let's talk Pink Princess, alright? But, you know, I snuck into the studio the other day, and I saw her, the one inside the Pink Princess suit. What a dog! It was kind of a shock for a boy of my tender age. Oh yeah, right, it's willpower. Yeah, I remember, right? That lawyer guy. Huh, me? I've been training to become paranormal photographer. You know, that picture I took of everyone? Well, just behind them, there's a ghost. For real. Now that's talent. I'm gonna be famous. There we go. Victory! Royale. Capcom. Wait. A brand new episode! So that wasn't the end. Anyway. Know that they baited us. That's not the end of the game. Next time, we are going to start the final chapter. Or the final episode. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you on the next one. Goodbye!